Hey guys, today's video, we're going to build this mini house display using Huber zip system sheathing and tape. These displays are designed to showcase and educate the consumer visually on how the zip system works. They are displayed at many lumber yards here in Southern California. This is the 14th display I've made, so there is a few out there already. Here's a look at how I build them. It all starts with the mighty 2x4, and sometimes you really have to dig deep to find what you're looking for. Before unloading the wood, I took this shot, which turned out pretty cool. Sometimes it's the simple things. Now on to unloading the wood to get a little morning exercise. Next is cutting all the floor joists, wall studs, and rafters. I'm using the cordless skill saw. This saw is a rear handle, blade left, worm drive saw. I recently made a video on the different styles of circular saws. Check it out if you're interested. The skill saw has a lot of power and is one of the better balanced cordless saws. Here are the different parts laid out, starting with the floor, then center wall, right wall, left wall, and rafters. Next is building the floor, which is 46 inches wide by 36 inches deep. I start by crowning the joist with the convex side up. The floor, walls, and roof are screwed together. This helps keep the display tight when it's moved around. It's also important to make sure the joists are flush for a more professional look and fit. Now it's time to sheathe the floor using 3/4 inch advantech. To attach the floor, I'm using advantech subfloor adhesive and Simpson Strong Ties quick drive cordless screw gun and screws. First I square up the floor, then apply the adhesive and attach the first piece, which has the groove. Next, the second piece, which has the tongue. I clamp the pieces together, making sure they are square, and screw the subfloor down. Then I cut 4 pieces of pressure-treated lumber for the feet. Some of the displays will be outside, so it needs to be off the ground. This also allows a forklift to move the display. Next is onto the main center wall. Again, I crown the studs so the convex side is all in the same direction. Then the right and left walls. Half the wall is framed and the other half is cantilevered over the main wall. Now it's time to install the walls, starting with the center. Again, I'm using the advantech subfloor adhesive. You don't generally glue the wall down, but in this case, the display will be moved around and it helps keep the wall from wiggling loose over time. Here you can see the frame and how the side walls are cantilevered in opposite directions. You can also see the window sill and how it's pitched 5 degrees to the outside. This is an added safety feature that allows water to drain out if it gets past the primary waterproofing layer and into the rough window opening. Now it's time to put on the zip sheathing. Again, for strength, I'm using advantech subfloor adhesive with 2 3/8 inch ring shank nails. The sidewall sheathing gets put on first and the rafters go over the sheathing. Before the last 2 pieces go on, the back and center rafters need to be put in. I start by crowning the rafters so the convex side is up, then mark the ridge plumb line and cut the angle. Then I measure down for the seat cut and rafter tail. Next, using a smaller square and stair buttons, I mark out the horizontal line on the seat cut. I like having a separate square set to the exact angle of the bird's mouth so all the seat cuts are even and sit flush on the wall. Next, I cut the rafter tails, then using a jigsaw for the bird's mouth. Ending up with the same length rafters, proper angle, and even bird's mouth is the goal. Here's a look at the two squares I use. If you're interested in making the framing square guide, check out the video on my page. Now it's time to install the back and center rafters. I'm using a 4-inch screw through the top of the rafter, and later I will screw underneath through the top plate into the rafter. Next is cutting the upper center panel. This is notched on both sides. The top is cut to the roof pitch and notched for the ridge. Now the front two rafters are installed. And everything is fitting nicely. Next is the subfascia, starting with the sides. The top of the fascia is beveled to the roof pitch so the roof sheathing can overlap the fascia. Next, the gable end fascia. This takes several different cuts, and the track saw is an efficient way to get a quality job. Like before, I'm using the Advantech subfloor adhesive to get a strong bond. Next is the roof sheathing. The bottom and top are both angled, matching the pitch of the roof, creating a flush transition. The track saw makes this task quick and easy. Oops, that doesn't seem right. No worries. Track saw to the rescue. Sometimes you make a mistake, then you fix it and move on. That's better. Now the other side, and everything is looking good. Time to route out the window. It's a messy job, but leaves a nice clean edge. Next, onto the tape. This is a critical part of the system. Applying the tape without wrinkles and bubbles is key to a long-lasting installation. Starting with the vertical seams, then horizontal seams all the way up the wall and roof. You must roll the tape to adhere properly. After the walls, roof, and window, you're left with a complete water-resistive barrier. On the bottom of the window, I use stretch tape, which allows you to wrap around the corner in one piece, and regular flashing tape on the side and top of the window. The other half of the window, I use liquid flash. Both products work really well. And that's how I build the display. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're interested in learning more building and woodworking techniques and tips, check out the other videos on my channel, hit those like and subscribe buttons, and I'll see you next time.